Hello, I'm here. Доброго вечора. Слава Україні. Мене чути? Мене видно? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Now it's okay. Good. Good. So, I will continue match between Alexander Alekhine and Max Euwe from 1935 from game 20. Героям слава. Дуже приємно. Ви звідки? So, before game 20, the score was +2 in favor of Alexander Alekhine. But Max Euwe in this match demonstrated very good fighting spirit. So he had many times minus score, but finally he won the match. We will see how it's possible to do it. З Одеси. Дуже приємно. Дуже приємно, що слідкуєте. Дякую за увагу. So, let's see. D4, D5, C4, C6, Slav defense. Again, knight C3 principal variation. And now Alekhine took on C4. In that time, d takes C4 was the most popular. Now, black has choice. Also possible to play E6. After bishop g5, black has choice between knight bd7, h6, or d takes c4, but winning variation. This. If e3, black can play Meran variation. Also possible to play a6, Chebanenko line, but okay. a6 became popular much later than 1935. If you are interested with a6 line, I strongly recommend you to see games of Sergei Volkov from Saransk. He is a big expert and he always plays a6 in this position. But okay, so d takes c4, took Alekhine, a4, bishop f5, knight a6 is another theoretical line. Vasily Smyslov played against me knight a6, for example. Bishop f5, and now white has a choice. In previous game, which we have seen this position, Alekhine played with white. Alekhine played knight h4 here, but he didn't have advantage after the opening. After bishop c8, e3, e5, he took on e5, and after the opening, black had very nice position. Better to take on c4 and play this. It's complicated. Okay, knight e5. Now knight bd7 played Alekhine. Also possible e6. If f3, bishop b4. And now white has principal choice. If e4, bishop takes e4, takes. Bishop b2. This line. Black cannot defend c4 pawn, so white will have piece against 3 pawns. Or another modern line is king f2 here to prepare e4. Okay. Knight bd7, knight takes c4, queen c7. Another very popular line here is knight b6. If knight e5, a5, many games was played in this position. But Alekhine played queen c7, g3, the most popular. Yes. Now we are considering Alekhine Euwe games. They played already match revanche in 1937, and before in 1927 they played another match which Alekhine won with score +1. This is theory. Now also possible rook d8, but after rook d8, queen c1, black cannot play knight d7 anymore because they are losing a piece here. So after queen c1, bishop d6 is correct. Knight takes d6, queen takes d6, bishop g2. White is slightly better according to the theory. Knight f d7, bishop g2, f6. Modern line is g5. Alexander Morozevich played g5 many times. Knight e3. Knight takes f5. Castle. Many games was played from this position. f6 castle. Rook d8. Another opportunities for black here is knight c5. Also idea of Alexander Morozevich. Also, long castle is possible. Hikaru Nakamura played long castle against me. Okay, Alekhine played rook d8, queen c1. Natural reaction because black had threat to play knight b6 or knight c5. So queen c1, very natural. Queen b8. Queen b8 looks like strange somehow. So, but in next game, in game 21, we will have same position, but Alekhine will have white, Euwe will have black. So now I'm looking from white side, okay, from Max Euwe side. But okay, queen b8 looks quite strange move. So bishop e6 is more logical anyway. Queen b8, what is explanation of queen b8? Probably idea avoid such motifs like this. Now knight d5. Now we can see that queen on c7 is not in optimal position. So only this explanation, but logically queen b8 looks very, very strange. So bishop e8 more natural for sure. Just a moment, please. Phone call. Sorry. Алло. Привіт, Орес. Я зараз просто репортаж роблю там, значить, про матч Альохін Ейве. Тому зараз не дуже зручно на флічу. Я тобі передзвоню. Так, так я передзвоню, коли закінчу, так. Все. So I'm here. Is it everything okay with picture and with voice? Okay, so queen b8. Alekhine played very strange move for me, at least for first sight. Okay, but he played this. And white has white choice. Many moves are tempting for white now. Knight e4 played Euwe. It's possible, but far from obvious move. White can consider other moves. Of course, a5 is possible to consider, for example. with idea to break black position with a5, a6. If black play a6, so b6 square will be weak and white will fix pawn structure in queen's flank. So a5 looks like very logical move here. I don't know what Alekhine planned to play after a5, but also rook d1, totally normal move to put rook in open line. But Max Euwe played knight e4 also. Logical, at least because now black can forget about idea to play g5. Bishop b4 or bishop b5? Sorry, where? Bishop b4. In which moment? Instead of queen b8? Or in which moment you want to play bishop b4 or bishop c5? If after rook d1, bishop c5 is hardly good because I can play this. Bishop on c5 you should take, because if not take, knight is coming to d6 and here white is clearly better. So after rook d1, I don't know what Alekhine. Maybe bishop e7 he planned to play, but anyway, white has pleasant position and many ideas. a5 is possible, knight e4 is possible. So queen b8 is strange move somehow. So Euwe played knight e4. I explained already that yes, black should castle, but anyway, black is under some pressure because white is stronger in center and in queen's flank. So knight e4 he played. Bishop e7 looks like normal move. Queen c3. Rook d1 is also possible. But probably after rook d1, black is just castle and knight can penetrate to d6, but probably it's nothing special. For example, here do something concrete. We can consider something possible. Anyway, or a5. I'm not sure. 5 pieces. Looks like white has many moves which wins system. If there is some problem, I am sorry for this. I will wait few minutes. Please tell me when it will be better. Now good, okay. So queen c3 played Max Euwe, and after castle he played rook a d1. It's a little bit strange choice because it looks like rook f d1 is more natural, was useful in a line, especially if white will play a5 and a6 in future, or b4 and b5. Or in f1 or in e1, look, white rooks has no special perspectives, so it's difficult to explain why Euwe decided to put this rook, not another rook, to d1. But he played this. Okay, this is normal move, but But if I would play with white, I would prefer rook fd1 because other rook I can put to c1 or realize in a1. Okay, what is disadvantage? Hard to believe that in some moment black can attack f2 pawn in this position. Very difficult to believe because black is passive and has no active possibilities. Or I didn't see them. So rook fd1, in my opinion, was more natural, but okay, after rook ad1, white is quite good as well, of course, because black still under unpleasant pin. Bishop e6 played Alekhine. He want to simplify the position somehow. Now bishop takes c4 as hanging, and Euwe took on e5, although totally possible was just played b3 and keep pressure. But okay, maybe Max Euwe afraid something like this. And decides that here probably white. Of course, anyway, white has advantage here. Just a5 is possible, for example. I will take somewhere queen c2 will be unpleasant. But Max Euwe prefers more concrete strategy. He immediately took on e5. Now black should take. If pawn takes, white has white choice. White choice. Bishop e3 is possible. Bishop g5 is possible. Even knight g5 is possible, maybe. 10 the volume. Okay. Okay. I put to 100. Thanks for subscription. It's very pleasant that I have a lot of followers. So I hope my channel is quite interesting for spectators. So Alekhine took with knight and knight g5. So this was the reason of exchange knights. F take g5 took Alekhine, so he needs to do something because his bishop under attack. And of course he cannot leave diagonal a2 g8 because bishop f5, queen b3 is coming, and then bishop takes e5, knight f7. So bishop d5 is not possible. It's possible, but not good because white is clearly better. Maybe even rook takes d5 is possible, but white can simply play this. Or rook takes d5 is objectively stronger, but anyway, this position hardly good for black. If rook c8, queen b3, this idea f take g5, queen takes d5 checks. So Alekhine took, more or less forced. Bishop a2, bishop a2, b3, and black has big problem with his bishop. Okay, maybe they are not losing immediately, but hard to believe that this is playable. So f takes g5, bishop takes e5. Yes, now it's double attack. Black cannot just go with queen because g7 pawn is hanging, so bishop f6 is forced. And bishop d6. Now I'm thinking, so Bishop b3 I'm considering now. With idea if b takes c3, bishop takes d1, rook takes d1, rook f6. This is very nice for black. Or at least drawish somehow. But after bishop b3, I afraid that rook d3 can be strong. And black will lost material. Yes, rook d3 is strong. Also, black cannot take on b2 because after bishop takes, rook b1. Now with important rook on f1, after attack, so maybe it's quite deep, but hard to believe. Okay, maybe not bishop e6 here, but what to play? So for black is extreme to this king h8, something like this, but maybe king h8 anyway. And next move, in some moment, if knight will go to g5, black will have bishop g8. So probably king h8 objectively was stronger, but it's from positional point of view, but please not forget about tactics. Maybe this is coming. So black should take with rook. Okay, if take with bishop, this is just losing. So if takes with rook, knight takes e5 and bishop takes e5. Bishop b4. Bishop b4 impossible because rook is hanging on f8. So white is just winning. Bishop b4, it's losing. So black has no time for king h8 even. But here same motive. What about this here? But now probably bishop b4 is possible. Because if queen goes somewhere, so now we see that rook on f1 is good, because if queen d8, bishop b7, black cannot play rook d1 check. So rook is better on f1 than on a1. Bishop f6, no, bishop f6, when bishop f6. Bishop b4 maybe we can consider. Looks like principal idea. Yes, now bishop b4. So not so simple. Probably now it's black is fine, surprisingly. Although even here I am not sure about this. So white can take. After bishop takes c3, I have knight c5. And how black is fine here? It's black can just take on b2 probably. And here, yes, here situation is unclear. Okay, but Max Euwe took, played knight g5, simple and logical. Bishop d6. Rook f7 is only move. Black has no choice, or they haven't. I don't know. If rook f6, bishop e7 is extremely unpleasant, because after rook d1, black cannot play rook f7, so they are losing exchange, and this endgame should be winning for white. So rook f7 played Alekhine, b takes c3, rook d7. So he is taking bishop back, but unfortunately He's losing the pawn, and white has pawn up. Again, it's very important that rook on f1. Yes, I read chat. Yes, I read chat. I am trying to answer. So now we see deepness of strategy of Max Euwe. If image that white has rook on a1, black is winning after rook d1, because white should take, and after bishop h3, this is just made. But now after rook d1, white has no obligation to take and can do anything what he wants. For example, white can, of course, it's bad to take here because bishop h3, but it's possible just take here. Now white has two pawns up. If after rook takes d1, bishop takes, king g2. White has good chances for win, or maybe it's possible to play something else. f3 or f4, many moves. f4 is logical move, by the way, with idea to take with king and keep bishop active. So Alekhine played rook d7, rook takes d7, bishop takes d7. Rook takes d7 was possible. I'm not sure that white should take on c6 because rook c7, rook c3 is coming. But even this line is quite promising for white. Rook b1, somehow white has good winning chances here. So Alekhine took with bishop e4. Played Max Euwe. What is the idea? Probably he wants to play bishop d3 after rook d2. Maybe this is idea. So rook b1 immediately what's possible, but after rook b1, rook d2, black has some contraplay. So bishop e4 is quite technical move. Now rook d2, bishop d3. Everything is protected, but is it so clear? Because after bishop d3, black has idea to play bishop h3, and if rook coming somewhere, black can play g4, and suddenly white has some problem with his king, and I don't see how white can win this position, because his king is under arrest. And, okay, so probably something else. e3. Okay, e3 is possible, but anyway, black can play bishop h3, and okay, let me think. So rook d7. Of course, white can go back with rook. You mean bishop prisoned? Yes, bishop is prisoned, but how white can improve the position? g4. I not allow f3. And what is winning idea? Black will just play g6, king g7, king f6. How white can improve the position? e3 and exchange bishop, but okay, I will play rook a2 in some moment. Okay, not when white will not have bishop c4 check, of course. So it's not clear for me that Max Euwe choose the best way. So rook d8, rook d7. Maybe he could try something else. For example, very logical looks to play check. Why not? If rook d8, white can take on c6 and play same line, or play this is also possible. Or more simple, take here and take on c6. After rook c8, bishop e4, and rook b1. Now white is prepared for f3, king f2. So after rook b8, more likely king f7, but after king f7, f4 is coming. Now white has both rook active and pawn up, which gives excellent winning chances. Bishop takes c6. When bishop takes c6? On the starting position. So he took on b7 and rook d7. Where you want to take on c6? Please explain me. So my recommendation is to play rook b8 check. After king f7, f4. This is what I like. So rook takes d7. What rating? Very difficult to say because now it's different opening theory, but okay, in best shape, I think at least 2,700 players they could be. So rook takes d7, probably dubious move. In my opinion, rook b8 was stronger. Because now black has chances to survive. Not so bad chances to survive. Yeah, but now c5 very strange move for me. Okay, it's logical move. Black wants to attack a4, activate his bishop, but I don't see any reason not play rook d2. So, but okay, c5 he played, c4 and bishop a4. Again, rook d2 is totally possible. How white can win here? It's okay, but rook d2 and if bishop d3 I can take here. After rook a1, rook d1 is coming. So after rook d2, white should play something else. But what? How white can play for win in this position? Bishop d5 and f4 maybe. Okay, but it's still not clear f4 is possible. But even bishop h3, so I'm not sure that white is able to win in this position because black pieces are active and well coordinated. So rook d2 was quite a good option, and now I have feelings that black has excellent chances to survive in this position. So I think rook takes d7 was just a bad move. Okay, dubious. But now bishop e4. Again, maybe f4 was was stronger, but maybe, yes, I like f4 because I want to activate my rook and I want to have a square f2 for my king. So, okay, this is exchange of pawns, but okay, I like f4 here. But bishop e4 is strange move, c5, c4, but now, yes, now after rook d2, looks like black has excellent chances to survive. I don't see how white can win in this position, or at least to have chances to win, because bishop d3 not possible. So pawn e2 is hanging. If e3, black can just take on a4, and after rook a1, rook d1 is coming. So bishop d5 and f4 is only idea, but it's not convincing way to win. But Alekhine blundered, so he took on a4 immediately, and now bishop d5, king f8, rook a1. So quite primitive blunder for such a level. So bishop d5, it's quite obvious. Okay, but there is explanation. He missed rook a2. Of course, Alekhine have seen this idea. Now black cannot play bishop c6 even because rook a6 wins immediately. Also in rook endgame, white should win probably. I mean this. So rook a6, so he decides that everything is okay probably, but he missed rook a2, very smart move, and after rook a2, black is totally paralyzed because bishop b5 not possible anymore. Rook is protected by bishop, so black cannot do anything. So black can play only with his king, so the position is totally losing. Okay, f4 takes. Now black can play rook g6, but after king f2, then bishop needs to go. Rook takes a7 with check. White is totally winning. So king f6, e4. So black has no moves. White easy wins. 5 h5 h4. Only king can play, but rook a5. Very sad. Bishop b7. After bishop c8, black resigned. But white bishop c8. Because he wants... Okay, more natural, just take on h4. Okay, but any move is winning here. King takes h4, even more simple. So what can I say? A strange game. So Max Euwe completely outplayed his opponent. But here he started to play something very strange. He took on d7 instead of rook b8 check and f4. And now, okay, black has excellent chances for draw. After rook d2, c5 is okay. Now it was terrible after rook b8, but now after c5, even c5 is possible, but terrible after bishop takes a4. Yes, bishop takes a4 is losing move, but after rook d2, it's for me it's very unclear how white can play for win in this position. Bishop d5 and rook b1, okay, it's possible, but I can just take the pawn. And where is your winning chances? At least it's problematic. Okay, maybe rook b8 check. Because if rook b7 immediately, bishop h3 is coming, and black has mating threats. So probably rook b8 check firstly. Now if king e7, yes, but king e7, by the way, how to win this? So if rook b7, king d6, and black has threat bishop h3 again. So very strange final of this game. Okay, let's see another game. Another game, Max Euwe will black. So today I will see from eyes of Max Euwe. So after this game, +1 in favor of Alekhine. But next game, again Slav defense, but I will flip board. So instead of rook b7, king d6, king f1. Okay, let's go. Let's see. Rook b7, king d6. Just a moment. Rook d2, bishop f5. Rook, rook b8, king e7, rook b7, king d6, king f1. Okay, but what is your achievement? Rook e7. Just probably already black is better. Yes, now, okay, not, yes, black is better already because bishop h3 is threat and bishop takes a4 is threat. So now it's big question if white can survive, surprisingly. What is my next tournament? Okay, I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so I will flip board. So now I am black and same position. Instead of extremely strange move queen b8, Max Euwe played bishop e6. Totally normal move, and now white has choice. Alekhine took on e5, also possible knight e4 probably, with more or less same ideas. But after knight e4, black, not necessary for black to play queen b8, strange moves. Black can do something more logical like bishop e7 or bishop b4. I don't know what exactly Max Euwe planned to play here. But anyway, knight e4 is quite logical move. Check. Okay, Alekhine took on e5. Now Euwe took with knight. Taking with pawn. It's also possible if bishop g5, knight f6, but okay, it's matter of taste. Knight on e5 is good. a5. White wants to play a6, so a6. Knight e4. Knight is coming to c5. Bishop b4. Not obvious, of course, black has choice in this position. For example, even rook d5 is possible. Not allow to play knight c5 immediately, but I'm not sure if it works tactically, because white has idea queen c3, if bishop e7, knight g5 is coming. Now it is bad for black, because the bishop takes d5, material loses. Okay, so Max Euwe played bishop b4, normal developing move. Knight c5 played Alekhine. Very natural. Bishop c8. So of this position. Took on e5. Not sure how necessary took it immediately. Because, for example, queen e3 looks like logical alternative. But okay. So he took. And now he play f4. f4 looks very strange because after f4, black bishop is really strong. I mean bishop b4. So bishop d2, bishop e3. There is idea. So f4 looks like very dubious move. Normal move looks like queen e3 here. And take on a5, it's extremely risky because white can take here, and black is under dangerous attack. Okay, but question if white is winning or this is just draw. Of course, king f7 only move because after king f8, knight e6, and queen takes a5. This is very simple. So king f7 only move. So queen f4 check. So black should play king e7 or king e8, for example, king e7. So now there is question if white can win in this position or it is just draw. But certainly white is playing without any risk. White has some ideas, for example, check from here, if king f7, knight takes b7, and then queen b3, and then queen takes b7, but not sure if it is real winning chances of the queen b5. Also important point of queen e3 is that black cannot castle, of course, because after queen b3, it's very primitive, sorry, but sometimes I feel I need to demonstrate also primitive variation because not all of my spectators are really strong players. So I need to explain also simple things. Another logical idea, queen c4 here, and after bishop takes e5, knight e6 is coming. Takes, black cannot play queen e7 because bishop is hanging, so king f8, but this is dangerous. Of queen c4 that rook d4 is coming. The white has nothing good. So queen e3, a5 is principal way. If black is not losing here, of course. Okay, so let's check again. So this. Of course, white always can make draw, but the question if white has something more than draw. Not so easy because white has only the two attacking pieces. Or after queen f4, maybe even king g8 is possible. This king f8 and not so clear for me how white can play for winning this position. Perpetual check, of course, they have after queen f4, but if white wants more than perpetual check, it's not obvious. So king f7. Okay, but let's try. I want to think from this position. So knight takes e5. Okay, I explained that knight e4 was possible. Of course, this is alternative, but Alekhine took a5 natural, knight e4 is natural, bishop b4. So what else white can do? Bishop d2 is possible, but okay, bishop d2 is not so active move. Black can just take and castle. So knight c5 is more logical. Bishop c8. Now probably queen e3 immediately. Check with white bishop. Where? Check. You mean here somewhere? Check with white bishop, but how? How white can prepare check with bishop? Can you explain me it? Yes, white is very active, but how is it possible to win? This big question. Draw is guarantee for white, but how to play for win? Queen f4 check. Oh, okay, so black has choice. I don't know. Okay, king e7, for example. I don't see clear way how white can play for win in this position. But maybe here no problem. All is doing mistake. I'm also doing many mistakes in chess. So maybe queen e3 immediately, but anyway black can take. Knight g5, where knight g5? Knight on c5. So here, if white takes on e5, it will be same. f4, f5, hardly possible. Knight d3, bishop b6. Not good for white. Knight d3, bishop b6. Quite unpleasant. White cannot continue attack. So he took. White has problem with his pawn on a5. Because of this, not easy to play. King h1 and f4. Okay, I don't believe it because black just take on a5 if f4 castle. So it doesn't look like really strong in my opinion if f4 just castle. What is white achievement? But okay, anyway, easy to see that white is playing without any. Of course, black can play something like this, knight d3, bishop d6, but it's normal position for white. Okay, probably for black as well. Castle is coming, and so black not totally necessary to take on a5, but probably possible to take if black agree to draw. I don't see how white can win in this position. But okay, no, I never met Max Euwe. Unfortunately, I never met him because I was very young when he died. Okay, but f4 played very strange move. And now black has clear initiative. So bishop d2 he played. Now situation is changing and white has many weakness, and black bishop pair very strong in this position. So queen c4. Queen c2 may be possible, but after queen c2 black can just castle. Queen c4 he played. Bishop d2 also has points that immediately castle is not possible because queen c4 check, of course. So, but if not now queen c4, black can just castle. So queen c4, but rook d4, so it's obviously bad for white already. Knight e6 doesn't work for many reasons. The simplest is just take and play king d8. So queen b3. Hello. 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 Okay, very good that you can hear me. and I hope you can see me as well. So I will wait more spectators in the chat. So f4 looks like a big blunder from Alexander Alyokhin, because before f4 he had quite a good position, probably not better, but without special risk to lost. But after f4 he's in big danger. Bishop d2, strong move. Queen c4, rook d4. It's difficult to say what Alyokhin missed, because this reaction of black is very obvious, and also obvious that white is in big trouble. So everything was better than f4. If not play queen e3, even knight b3 was better. Just protect the pawn to prepare rook a4. But okay, knight b3, of course, it's passive move, and black has comfortable game after queen e7 to prepare castle or bishop e6. Yes, but queen e3, certainly queen e3 was the correct move, and white is playing without risk. So f4 is bad move, bishop d4, rook d4. Now black is clearly better. Queen b3 played Alyokhin. Euwe took on f4, very natural choice. G takes f4, queen e7. Also logical move, of course, not only move, but what? Where black king go? Black king still in centrum, but it's not so bad for black. So black has many good options. Also queen f7 is good in my opinion, to exchange queens or prepare castle if white avoid to exchange queens. Yes, f4 is bad because white is open his king, and yes, yes, and black bishop b4 became much more strong. So queen f7 also was possible. Black is clearly better here. Maybe other moves was possible as well. I don't know. Maybe black can just take this pawn. Why not? Bishop g4 is hardly a good idea, because after bishop g4, pawn b7 is hand. Knight e6 is proposition, but okay, after knight e6, I can just take and play queen e7. Okay, but queen c8 is possible, and if rook d8, white has bishop takes c6, and this is nice for white. For white suddenly. Okay, so knight e6 probably this is problem for black. Yes, okay, maybe bishop takes f4 is too risky, but queen f7 was totally possible move. And for sure black is fine here. But okay, queen e7, I like this move because he attacks knight, so knight should go back somewhere. Bishop will be more free because pawn b7 will be not attacked, so queen e7 is nice move. About Catalan opening, Boris Avruch wrote excellent book about Catalan opening. So this is the best in English lesson. In English. In English language. З Болгарії. Дякую, дякую. Приємно, приємно, що ви за нас боліваєте. So 93 played Alekhine. What else? He has no way to defend his knight because queen a3, bishop b4, immediately losing. Queen b6 also losing because rook b4 after queen a7, bishop e3 checks. So knight d3 is forced and black can do everything what they want. Bishop e6 played Max Euwe. There are many other good moves, of course, like rook f8, for example. It's possible, but nothing wrong with bishop a6. Now white has no good squares for his queen. Queen b6 is impossible because bishop e3 and rook takes d3 is coming. So if queen c2, just bishop e3 and then black can castle. So white position is terrible. About opening, it's always matter of taste. So somebody likes French, somebody likes Caro-Kann, somebody likes Italian. So queen a3 played Alekhine. Again, black has many good moves. Bishop c4 played Max Euwe. King h1. Took on a3. Also possible, just played rook f8. Of course, normal move, but okay. He eliminate queen from the board and play castle. Again, rook f8 is quite logical, but he played castle. So white position is totally destroyed. Black has bishop pair and white has many weakness. So rook a4, rook fd8, protect rook. Now bishop c4 is free. Rook h3, so white is totally losing. Emre Can against Maksudlu? No, I didn't see. I will check. Can Maksudlu. I will write and check. Where is my pen? Can Maksudlu. Okay. I will check. Who won? So bishop b4. Rook b4, sorry. There are opposite bishops on the board, but white has too many weaknesses. So black wants to take on b2 and then to play rook b5, takes on a5, and it should be enough for wins. Rook f2, but okay, rook f2 looks like very strange with idea bishop f1, but it's very difficult to recommend something better, unfortunately. So everything is losing. Okay, more natural was something like this and bishop e4, but very nice tactics. Okay, I will check this game. Probably I didn't see, but anyway, I don't see real chances for white to survive here. Rook f2 he played, rook b2, bishop f1, even bishop in passive position, d4, rook f4, okay. Black has many moves to win. Pawn up and much better position. So painful, lost for Alekhine, and it was game 21, and after this game score is equal. So now Max Euwe playing again with white. We will see this game. It was quite short game, but it's Nimzo Indian. Max Euwe played Queen C2. Knight C6 played Alekhine. Quite rare line. Much more popular here. C5 or D5 or castle. Lupulescu 2016. Okay, I will take first of all a good pen to write your wishes. So, just a moment. No good pens prepared. It's mistake of my preparation. Ah, yes, there is. So, John against Maksudlu. Maksudlu. 1-0, and my game against Lupulescu. Lupulescu. 2016. Okay. Okay. My game. Okay. So Alekhine played knight c6. Knight f3, the most natural move, although e3 is possible as well. Black can play e5, but it's not clear. If black is not playing e5, white can play, for example, after castle, bishop d3 looks very logical, and white has planned to play knight g2, and then a3 take with knight, something like this. Okay, e5 is possible, but okay, d takes e5, knight takes e5, a3 is possible. Black takes, queen takes, d6, knight f3, for example. If black takes, and then white will try b3, bishop b2, rook g1, something like this. Of course, this is not forcing line. After knight f3, black can play queen e7. But anyway, e3 it's a logical alternative, but knight f3 it's the most natural move. Black played d6 and bishop d2. Bishop d2 is the main option for white according to modern theory. Magnus Carlsen also played bishop d2 against me in this position. Of course, white has other options as well. For example, white can play g3 here. If castle, bishop g2, if e5, d5, with idea if knight d4, just to take and play a3. So it's possible, but instead of knight d4, stronger for black to play knight e7. Thanks for subscription. So, bishop d2, the strongest move. Also, Magnus Carlsen played against me bishop d2. I won this game with black, but not because of opening. Castle. Not necessary to play castle immediately. Black can also play a5. And after a3 to take, and to play queen e7 to prepare e5. d5 is possible, but not so strong. But black can play knight d8. If d takes e6, knight takes e6. If not d takes e6, black can play e5 in some position. Okay, but Alekhine played castle, a3 natural, now queen e7. I beat many times Magnus with black. Maybe one day I can show collection of my games which I beat Magnus with black. e3 played Max Euwe, natural, but white has another moves, many moves. b4 may be possible. If e5, d5. If e4, I can just take. If takes, I can take, and then rook g1 is coming. So, for example, this idea is possible. But okay, e3 played Max Euwe, e5 played Alekhine. Another not obvious decision in this position, because he allows to play b4. So very logical, in my opinion, was to play a5 firstly, stop b4, and only in next move to play e5. For example, if bishop e2, e5, d5, knight b8. Now, if b4, black can even consider this idea, and b5 is contraplay. If not b4, black can play a4 and then transfer his knight to c5. So this is what black is dreaming in this variation. Then knight d7, knight c5, something like this. But okay, Alekhine played e5 immediately, Euwe played d5, knight b8, bishop d3. Bishop d3, it's not necessary move. So knight d2 is normal move here. b4 is normal move here. So knight d2, what is idea? That knight is passive on f3 now. White wants to prepare bishop d3 or to prepare b4. If a5, b4. Takes, 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 takes. Sorry. b5 is possible, but white can just play e4. It's quite a good position, in my opinion. For example, if c6, d takes c6, takes, takes, knight takes b4, queen b3, and black has problem with his knight. If d5, bishop c3 is coming. Max Euwe played bishop d3. It's hardly best choice. Why b5 is possible? Okay, so knight d2, a5, b4, takes, 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 b5. I explained it. But e4, because if white taken, black taken on d5. So e4 is logical idea to protect d5 pawn firmly, and after b takes c4, bishop takes c4, and white has comfortable position. Okay, maybe not so simple. c6 is possible, d takes c6, knight takes c6, but anyway, I like this position for white, b5. After castle, white will be totally happy, because pawn structure is better. But bishop d3 is strange choice for Max Euwe. Bishop a6 instead of c6. Bishop a6, bishop e6, I just will take on. You mean here bishop a6? Okay, but b5 is coming and then castle. Knight takes e4, in which moment knight takes e4? So knight d2 I played, and after a5, b4. I like this position for white. No, knight takes e4. White don't need to exchange knight, because with knight on f6, black cannot play f5 quickly. So But Max Euwe played bishop d3. It's a strange choice. Black cannot play e4 immediately because bishop takes f6. That's right. But 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 after bishop d3, but bishop d3 not in optimal position. So Alekhine played knight bd7, and now e4 is threat because after bishop takes f6, black has knight takes f6, and black is ready to play knight c5 with attack the bishop. So bishop d3 certainly is bad move. So correct move was knight d2 or before. Before immediately also looks like logical. If e2, if e4, white has pleasant choice between knight d2 uh, or knight d4 even is possible. So certainly in this position, white should choose between knight d2 or b4. Okay, also e4 is possible, but if white played e3 before, it's a little bit strange to play e4 now. So b4 or knight d2 looks like normal move, but bishop d3 certainly, okay, maybe not just bad move, but for sure not the best. So I will call this move like dubious. So knight bd7 played Alekhine with concrete threat to play e4, but also possible was a5. Also was very good move because black has positional threat to play a4 and then knight d7, knight c5, while white cannot play b3 because now e4 is winning the piece. b3 is terrible mistake, or same before, because e4 is coming. Now black is winning because after bishop f6, queen takes f6, rook is hanging. So white cannot play b3 or b4, so white need to play something else, for example castle, but now a4, and now black has promising position with plan knight d7, knight c5. Okay, probably white has some active play like this, knight h7 takes, bishop d3 and f4, but okay, it's double-edged situation. Knight bd7, f4, okay, f6, for example, even possible. Then knight c5 is coming. But okay, white also has his trumps. I agree. Okay, Alekhine played natural move knight bd7, developing move. Knight g5. Played Max Euwe because e4 is threat. e4 here, no, e4 here, bishop takes f6, and black is losing pawn. So e4 is not possible, but knight d7 is good move. a5 was also good. Okay, so knight bd7, knight g5. g6 played Alekhine, not obvious choice. h6 was totally normal. I don't know why he preferred to play g6, but try to understand. So h6 is natural, knight h7 probably. Only explanation. Because if knight e4 is possible, but after knight e4, hard to understand why g6 is more useful for black than h6. But knight h7, okay. Anyway, takes. Black has no problem at all. But okay, maybe white has no problem as well after bishop f5 or bishop d3. Oh, g6 is threat now, so white should play bishop f5 now, bishop d3, something like this. But okay, so g6 played Alekhine, and Euwe played knight e4 because probably in some variation knight takes d5 can be threat. Immediately knight takes d5 also was possible, but at least white can take with knight and take here and to win exchange. So this is not convincing for black. After g6, knight takes d5 can be considered like threat, although maybe white has compensation if they will allow black to realize this threat. For example, castle, if knight takes d5. Okay, knight takes d... After knight takes h7, black has knight takes e3. This is important. But, okay, what is this? I can take. Black has some problem with his pawn on c7, and also with development. So white can play f4 now. Well, I don't know. So this. White is two pawn down, but probably there is a strong attack here. I'm not totally sure about this. But who knows? Okay, but of course, Max Euwe have seen idea. Knight takes d5, so he played knight e4 with obvious intention to stop knight takes d5. Also, although I can repeat that this position is far from obvious, so white has compensation for the pawn, even something like this. Before, to stop knight c5, if knight b6, I can play just e4. And now black cannot play. Okay, black can play bishop h3, but this is white can play f3, and bishop takes g2 is not winning move. Idea this queen e3. This is excellent, but unfortunately for black, white has bishop d2 and winning the piece. So bishop takes g2 motif doesn't work actually. So positionally, white has good compensation because c7 pawn is weak, so white can prepare f4 and attack king, and also there is plan to play a4, a5, something like this. So castle was possible, but of course after castle, black has no obligation to take on d5, so knight c5 is totally possible to consider here, for example. But okay, so Max Euwe decided not take a risk, so he played knight e4, Alekhine took, and he played knight c5. Again, a5 was logical idea to prepare a4, but white can play b4 to stop knight c5, and black has no special achievement in this position. So knight c5 is good. Now bishop f3 looks like a normal move to avoid exchange, but it is risky tactically because queen h4 is coming and pawn c4 is hanging. Also bishop f5 is an important threat. So if b4, bishop f5 is coming. If e4, f5 is coming. So this is quite unpleasant for white already. Probably it is just bad for white. Queen h4 is really strong move. Aggressive match for Euwe, but okay, in this game he didn't play aggressive. I don't like how Euwe played just this game. So he played castle, and black has promising position. Alekhine took on e4. Of course, black has alternatives here. For example, a5 is logical move again, with idea to play a4 and to have domination. And now b4 is hardly possible because black can take and play bishop f5. After queen f3, bishop d3, rook c1, bishop takes c4, and white cannot take the pawn back. Bishop takes a5, I mean, because rook is hanging. Queen takes e5, bishop takes e5, mistake. Okay, but so white should take here probably. Material is equal. Now, now white has contraplay because bishop b4 is coming. But okay, we can try to improve this line. Black can take immediately because take with bishop is anti-positionally. But if take with pawn, bishop d3, now black wins the pawn, so a5, white cannot play b4, but if white cannot play b4, it means that white has a positional problem. Bishop f3 is possible, but okay, a4 is coming, and this situation is very pleasant for black. Alekhine took on e4, queen takes e4, bishop f5, queen f3. Now white is preparing to play e4. Now bishop d3 is possible, but after rook fc1, bishop takes c4, bishop a5 is coming, and black has no possibility to protect comfortably his bishop or his pawn. If b5, b3, and then e4, e4 just queen d1, or queen f4 is also possible. So this is hardly a good idea. So in my opinion, e5 was stronger, or here to play e5. a5 is also possible to prepare bishop f5 in a better moment, but without knight c5, black has less active possibilities. So in my opinion, knight takes e4 was dubious idea. So a5 was strong in my opinion. But Alekhine took on e4. So after queen f3, he cannot take. Well, he can take, but it doesn't. If f5 better than bishop f5, f5 is possible, yes, but maybe it's better, but maybe nothing special. So white can play queen d3, and if f4, f3. Yes, black has a little bit more space, but it's difficult to create attack. Somewhere white can even, for example, g5, more or less logical, rook e1, bishop f5, white can even play e4 after bishop d7 to prepare something like this, king f2, kings will go back. I don't know if black has strong resources to attack in this position. Of course, black is good. F takes e3 and rook f4 instead of g5. Yes, it's possible, but it's not clear why white is both. Somewhere g3 f4 is possible. I think no, I think g5 is correct. But yes, f5 was good idea. Certainly, it was good idea. Hello, can you hear me? Hello, hello. Good. Yes, f5 was good idea. I agree. Probably objectively stronger because certainly black has initiative in this position. I agree that f5 was stronger than bishop f5 because now black has no active play in queen's flank, so in king's flank f5. Bishop d3, but okay, bishop d3 doesn't work, doesn't bring advantage for black. So Alekhine played queen h4, and after queen e2, Normal move. b3, bishop c2 is unpleasant somehow for white. Not so clear how to defend pawns. Okay, g3 maybe is possible, however, maybe it's not so bad for white still. Because g3, if queen goes somewhere, for example, queen h3, white can try queen e2. And if bishop takes b3, rook b1, and then rook takes b7, something like this. So maybe b3 was possible as well. Maybe it's not so bad move at all. Bishop e4, okay, bishop e4, queen e2. You cannot play f5 because f3 you will lose the bishop. So b3 was possible move. Complicated position. But okay, queen e2 is solid move. And in this position, Max Euwe offered a draw and Alexander Alekhine accepted this. So, yes, I agree that probably Alekhine was so happy that he solved all of opening problem easily, but in this position he could try to pretend for more than draw. To play a5 or to play knight takes e4 and f5. So, but he played this. Probably he missed that after bishop d3, rook c1, but it's not difficult. But now, okay, b3 was possible. Maybe also fc1 was possible here. Another way to protect the pawn. If bishop d3, okay, just b3 is possible. f5 and e4, maybe, but it's double-edged situation. White can play even f4 and then rook a2, rook f2. And then try to prepare queen d2, bishop b. Сашу Дикуна знаю, так. Не можу сказати, що добре знаю, ну, але знаю, так. What, okay, so Max Euwe offered a draw, Alekhine accepted. Okay, now black has no advantage anymore because their pieces not correctly, they need to lose some time to, so bishop d7 is logical and then f5, but it was better to play f5 immediately. So position is more or less equal, but playable for both. So Alekhine agreed to draw. And it means that my report for today is finished. But okay, if somebody has questions, I can answer, or some wishes. Thank you. I'm trying to show my best. If there are any wishes, okay, I can consider them for a future. So, after game 22, the score is equal. Thank you. Дякую вам. Всього вам найкраще. Всім тим, хто з України, всім дякую за увагу і тримаймося. Треба боротися і берегти себе і своїх рідних в першу чергу. Bobby Fischer games here? No, I don't think so. Probably not yet. Probably I didn't analyze games of Bobby Fischer. Okay, I can prepare something. Fischer. Okay. Plans. Okay, about my plans, I prepare. Okay, Israel. Okay, so Fisher. Okay. But I didn't analyze in my stream any games of Fisher yet. I can prepare something of Fisher. Okay, so good night. Thanks for your attention. Слава Україні! Героям слава! Ага, against Carlson. Okay. Against Carlson.